In tonight's headlines, 4 directors of a Christian charity are arrested and police seek 3 others in a suspected $15 million fraud. Nobel Prize-winning economist Joseph Stiglitz suggests diversification to boost the economy. And lawmaker Tik Chi-yuen expresses concern over political censorship after a drama group loses a subsidy and venue for its awards ceremony.
Four directors of a Christian charity that helps youth fight drug abuse have been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to defraud involving $50 million. Police are seeking the arrest of 3 other directors of the non-profit Christian Junction Association who have left Hong Kong. They include Almond Chan, principal of a school in Changchao with the same name. Police received reports last month about suspicious bookkeeping records by the school board. Chan had launched an online campaign in late 2020 to raise funds, citing financial difficulties. It was later alleged that less than 10% of the $45 million that was collected was spent on school development. The rest of the money was allegedly used to purchase assets or sent abroad. Police reportedly found that Chan has sold his home before leaving for Britain. Jacob Lam, who founded the association, is currently in the United States. He refused to be interviewed, saying the matter is in the hands of God. The Social Welfare Department and the Education Bureau have been contacted to take care of the 17 students in the school and to keep its operations running. Janice Yu, Cable News.
The former publisher of the now-folded Apple Daily, Chen Kim-hong, said an English section was launched in May 2020 in the hope of reaching U.S. politicians. He was testifying in the West Kowloon Magistracy for the second day as an accomplice witness in the national security trial of the newspaper's founder, Jimmy Lai. Chen said only those who supported the protests against the extradition bill were employed as writers for the English segment. He added that Lai hosted an online talk show in 2020 to gain the support of foreign countries. The media tycoon has denied 2 conspiracy charges of foreign collusion and a 3rd charge of conspiring to produce seditious materials. The trial continues tomorrow. The city's economic development came under the microscope today during a University of Hong Kong forum.
How do we can attract entrepreneurial talent will be very important, particularly in a rapidly aging society. We are aging much faster than even Japan experienced in the coming 20 years. Right? So I think those are some existential, visionary strategies that Hong Kong must explore going forward.
U.S. economist Joseph Stiglitz, a Nobel Prize winner, suggested diversification.
The change in the global landscape for a city that very much lived off of trade and investment and finance as a global hub is going to be more difficult. We are moving into a knowledge economy, you might say an innovation economy, and that means that I think universities are going to play a bigger role. Having a healthcare sector sort of that has one foot in the global healthcare sector becomes very important. Those are just 2 examples of ways in which the economy could change to de-risk and reduce the dependence on finance.
Stiglitz said the government should play an important role in expanding the city's education and healthcare sectors. There's been concern over how Hong Kong aims to raise revenue as it faces a $100 billion deficit this fiscal year. Financial Secretary Paul Chan expects it would take 2 to 3 years to return to a balanced budget. but he shot down a Liberal Party proposal to tax residents who leave the city by land or sea, saying this would not be good for the SAR. Chan also gave the thumbs down to a capital gains tax. Maisie Mock, Cable News.
Arts Development Council Chairman Kenneth Fogg says it has to review its funding mechanism to lower the risk of breaching the national security law. This comes after the Hong Kong Federation of Drama Societies was informed that the council will not be subsidizing its annual awards ceremony after doing so since 1999. The decision followed the council's review of last year's ceremony. Courage was the theme of the show, after which there were complaints that its content had damaged the council's reputation. A further blow came when the Leisure and Cultural Services Department said it would not sponsor a venue for this year's Hong Kong Drama Awards. Last year's ceremony was held at the Kwai Ting Theatre. Lawmaker Tik Chi-yuen expressed concern over political censorship and urged the Arts Development Council to respond.
I think this is not a normal procedure. Suddenly, without any warning, to stop the subsidy. It is not our experience. So I think that it is another red line. We expect the government or any department to explain why this kind of action. It is not only a administrative procedure. It is a political judgment.
Tik is concerned that the pressure would prompt many people involved in arts and culture to give up. Sources suspect that the Federation triggered a controversy over its choice of presenters for one award last year. They were reporter Bao Choi, who made a documentary about the 2019 Yuen Long attack, and political cartoonist Dun Zi. The Federation will meet the press tomorrow to outline its plans for this year's Drama Awards. Janice Yu, Cable News.
Military raids by Iran against enemy targets in nearby Iraq, Syria, and Pakistan have raised tensions in the region. The latest bout is between Tehran and Islamabad, which sent its air force this morning to strike Pakistani terrorists sheltering in neighboring Iran.
Over the last several years, in our engagements with Iran, Pakistan has consistently shared its serious concerns about the safe havens and sanctuaries enjoyed by Pakistani-origin terrorists calling themselves sarmachars on the ungoverned spaces inside Iran.
Islamabad acted after Tehran attacked an anti-Iranian group based in Pakistan. Iran's foreign minister said Pakistani nationals were not targeted.
The United States has attacked Houthi military sites in Yemen for the fourth time in a week. Washington said cruise missiles fired by Navy vessels prevented the Houthis from launching a new wave of assaults on ships in the Red Sea. Earlier strikes by US and British warplanes reportedly knocked out key military installations in Yemen. The raids were aimed at stopping the Houthis from disrupting shipping in the Red Sea. But they have apparently not deterred the Yemeni group, which said it has targeted a US-owned ship in the Gulf of Aden. The Houthi attacks are in support of the Palestinians in Gaza.
Hong Kong stocks rebounded one day after hitting a 14-month low as investors went bargain hunting. The Hang Seng Index retreated further in the morning, nearing 15,000 points before the losses were recovered later. The benchmark edged up 0.8%, ending a fourth session rout, which saw the gauge slide by 6.3%. Tech shares led the rally. Tencent picked up 1.1%, Alibaba climbed 1.5%, while Baidu jumped 3%. Speaking to Bloomberg at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Financial Secretary Paul Chan insisted the SAR's financial system remains robust as ever.
It is about confidence. It is about trust. How does it get fixed?
Well,
there could be some misinformation. If I look at the total bank deposits of the Hong Kong banking system, at the end of December, it was about 5% higher than last year. So the figures indicate that indeed net capital flow is inflow instead of outflow.